there, if there is nothing that justify killing a pig, but there is, okay, if there is something that justify a pig, if there is,
Yo, I eat callaloo, aki, sweet potato, yam, banana, and tomato, cabbage, spinach, avocado, chocho, buttered bean and cocoa, courgette, millet, plantain, rice and peas and pumpkin, mango, dates and guava, chickpeas and cassava.
Hello everyone, I just woke up and I felt like sharing something with you. And this started off when I found this video that we're going to look into now by Direct Action Everywhere France. Sorry, excuse. Nosebleed. I'm actually one of the few people that randomly gets nosebleeds, but it has gotten way better the last years. Anyway, this video that Direct Action Everywhere France shared is an American-produced short film that basically shows an extreme circumstance of a restaurant taking everything to the account. But that's not only the thing that is going to put forward in this video. It's basically an argument that I got into on my friend's post, and I feel like going through all of this, but first let's look at the video itself.
So this is basically the video. Starts with these friends sitting out dining, and they get asked what they want, they tell them what you want, and he starts to put it forward that this is the real experience, like the full circle of experience. So basically he's told to come with him. He comes to the back room. He is then given a knife, and he is sent into the room. And then he's in the room, and then he sees the pig. So he gets shocked and tries to flee, and the door is locked. So he sees the pig looking at the knife. The pig stands there, he sits down, and then he starts cuddling the pig. And then he comes to the realization, I'm not going to kill this pig. And these people come in, takes the pig down and killing it for him. And then he got it on a plate. And his friend starts to say something like, oh, this is how it feels like being a caveman. That's basically how the video goes. It's a really strong video. However, on my friend's post, I got some people commenting, and I felt that was really interesting. First, he tried to say that he wouldn't use a knife, he would rather use a bolt pistol, because a knife would be too ineffective and cruel. And I am perplexed to think of that people actually see it cruel to stab someone to death, but killing in enough of itself is not cruel. It's really strange. So I asked him why he wouldn't rather cuddle the pig. He says, no, they're delicious. So I asked him if I find dogs delicious, would that be okay for me to kill a dog? And he says, no, they aren't delicious. He made some other points, but you can read that yourself. So I pointed out that he made a strawman fallacy, because that wasn't really the question I asked. I basically asked, like, would it be okay for me to do that if they were delicious? And then he's starting to saying that I shouldn't listen to the Chinese because they are in fact not delicious. And he is also like talking about they notoriously eat people, and I'm like, yeah, I know that they're cannibalizing people. I point out if they are delicious, and I also just like don't understand why it matters what he says about like the pig eating people. So he is then moving over to say that that he wouldn't listen to me as a vegan to know if dogs taste good, which again is absurd because it was just hypothetical. He is also like trying to talk about like then it would be okay in China. So he basically first say that I shouldn't listen to the Chinese, but then oh okay, it's okay. And I think this is where he says that it's that he wouldn't be okay with someone killing a pet pig. And he says that there's a huge difference between like the emotional bond between pets compared to livestock. So I want to challenge him on this. So I asked like if he believed non-human animals only has extrinsic value, like they only has value if people are fond of them, and he said no, really. And then he's trying to appeal to cognition. I've got some beeping noise in my ear. Okay. And then I point out that there are a few problems with what he's saying. Like I can agree that the intrinsic value of a human is greater than an animal. Well, not true. I believe that some animals actually has greater, but mostly it's true. But I don't see why that is relevant in order to take away their life. I mean, like, I can understand that a really intelligent person has more intrinsic value than I have, but does that justify me getting killed? I don't think so. And he's putting like animal behavior to justify his unjustified actions. It's what he said. He's talking about some having greater value. Yes, we got greater value, therefore we should have greater ethical values than the other species. It's only logical. So I asked like he would if we would charge like a really violent autist with crime, basically, or send him to prison or something like that. And he just ignored all the points that I made earlier and said that we wouldn't put an autist to prison. We would lock him up in a psychiatric. And I said exactly, we need to treat the basis of morality. And then I moved on and I said, though the main question I have is what gives humans right to life and not other species. He totally ignores this. Like, he doesn't want to answer it, and it goes like I misunderstood, and said that pigs don't eat corpses; they kill and consume them. Like, I have never seen this, and it talks about someone like started to eat the person alive, and I see no proof of this. It could potentially be, and I would understand the pigs if this happened. But I pointed out that I never seen. But if it was true, why would it matter? And I felt like he was just moving away from my question. So I asked it clearly: what is it that is true of an animal? Like, which trait is present or lacking in an animal? That if of the human, the trait of the animal was now true of the human, would justify us needlessly killing them both for a hamburger. This is really easy here. Sometimes I just add more words to make it simpler for people to understand, and then he just tried to say that he doesn't understand. So then I do it like the plain way, just straightforward, when people usually don't get it. I'll ask it again. What is true of an animal that if the same is true of a human would justify us needlessly killing them both for a hamburger? Then he actually understood it. And he's saying that I'm asking the wrong question. And is just trying to say that because humans are different and that we possess traits and that pigs don't have any greater traits than being delicious, and it's just trying to say that there's nothing that could make it okay to kill a human, but the other way around, it could be okay. So basically, the traits that is using here is basically intelligence. He's also saying that we got what's it called? A social contract. So I said that so that the two traits you have given me is intelligence and social contract. And I said, like, if we remove the social contract and intelligence, would it then be okay to kill that individual? And then his friend come here and like ask me why make a fantasy world stick to reality. I see this a lot when I come with hypotheticals. People try to point out that something is not valid as reasoning because it is not based in reality. That is certainly not true. You can come up with hypotheticals like if we were in the Matrix. That is a valid argument. Like, if we were in the Matrix, like, first of all, we need to establish like how we would know we were in a Matrix, and other things. So I point out to him that I was just a red herring to move me away from the actual argument here, and I said that I'm asking a valid question. You're welcome to try and answer it. Then he comes out, and now he's just starting to cook into the shadows. Societies by default have social contract. Have a nice evening, Per. And I'm going like, are you kidding me? You're not wanting to attend this question. And I said, no. I am not letting you go that easy. Stop strawmanning my argument. If there is something that justifies killing a pig, but there is nothing that justifies killing a human, even if all the things you can name of the pig in order for it to be okay to kill, I said it, I shouldn't have said that, is true of the human, then you've broken the second law of philosophy. Never create a contradiction. And that is where I led your argumentation. And then he's just trying to move me away again. That's nice, honey. And I said, so do you accept that you contradict yourself? And he said, no. Good night, Per. He is not defending his position. And I talked to my friend then. And I was told that he didn't want to continue because he felt like we weren't getting anywhere. I certainly felt I was getting somewhere. I felt like I'd cornered him so bad. So I tried to get him in again. So I said, how is saying that if everything is similar in two individuals, there is still something different about them, not a contradiction? And then I tried to get him back by saying, I am not letting a cock into the shadows. Which is basically what he did. And then started some meme war here, but that's besides the point. So basically what I feel here is that he didn't actually answer my question. He tried to avoid the question, and when he was presented with a question, he just ran off. He didn't want to attend it. Because now I was actually winning the debate. But if he actually wants a proper debate, I doubt it, but I'm willing to get him on screen, record something off of Skype or something like that, and upload it to YouTube if he is willing to do that. It's fine for me. And I would really be glad to just totally destroying him in the debate. So, see you next time.